Hey guys, and welcome to the 7th video of this channel, the next one of this series, cataloging the planning, preparation, and operation of me starting my own business. So in our prior videos, we've talked about my business, its model, and my intense desire to do so, and some of my financial planning and preparation to start and qualify my own business and evaluate its self-sufficiency under my projections for its revenue and profitability and things of that nature. Now we're going to be making a transition here, and that we're actually going to be taking the next step into execution of starting the business. So this is a pretty exciting, a little bit nerve-wracking milestone for me to venture into this part. I've never made it quite this far into starting my own business. It's all been theoretical up till now, but this is going to be the first step, at least for me, in creating the entity under which I'm going to be doing business. And that is, I have to acquire my fictitious business name. And this is for my area, my county, which is Butte County in Northern California. This is the form that I was able to obtain from my county's website online in order to submit this application to acquire exactly that. It's very simple in its format and information that's requested. It's very self-explanatory, and I would imagine that wherever it is that you are planning to start and operate your own business, it might be similar to this, and that this is not a terribly complicated ordeal to try and acquire your fictitious business name. But this is an important first step that precedes doing really much else, because until I have a fictitious business name that's on file and identified with my county, I can't open a checking account under my fictitious business name. I cannot go and pursue my contractor's license and have it issued to my business and its fictitious business name. So none of those things. So I need this first, since we're starting here. So as you can see, the filing fees are conveniently stated here, at least on the form for my county. $36 for first name, business name application, and $5 for each additional name that's referenced, and $5 for each additional owner in excess of one. So you'll notice probably right off the bat that I do have two different business names here. I have Steel Professionals Consulting Group, which is the full technical name of the business that I want to start, and then I've also identified the abbreviated version of SPC Group. Now, I actually called my county clerk office and asked them this question, because in conversation with my clientele and on my marketing platforms, and even the domain name for the website that I'm going to have generated, I want to have that called SPC Group versus drawing out the entirety of Steel Professionals Consulting Group. So my point with that is, if I were to receive checks, form of payment, that is written out to SPC Group, but if my fictitious business name and subsequently my business checking account is under Steel Professionals Consulting Group, would that be acceptable to my bank for me to be able to deposit a check made out to SPC Group? And they said that it probably would not be. So it would be best practice, if not cautionary, for me to identify both names and file both of them with them. Then I can open up an account with either both or either of these names, and I can receive and deposit funds and make transactions under that name as well. So that's exactly what I've done here. Is I'm actually going to be filing for two fictitious business names, though they're the same entity, and I am the registered owner of that one business doing business under both of those names. You can see that here. Hence, that's why I have that there. So that might be something for you to consider if that's even possibly a situation that you might run into in your own account as well. If you have a particularly lengthy name, or if you want it abbreviated, shortened, or alias to the business that you're doing that's otherwise than your technical one, you're probably going to want to file for both. Other than that, they really just want the main location where the business is going to be conducted. They want information on the registered owners. My business and its form of ownership is going to be a sole proprietorship. I am not a partnership. I am not pursuing this venture with a colleague of mine. I am the only owner and operator of this business, so it's a sole proprietorship. I am not incorporated, so hence it all falls under my umbrella and liability here. So I've identified that as such below. And then there's a line for my signature, which I'm assuming they're going to witness. It doesn't state that on here, but it's usually best practice if they want a wet ink signature anywhere on a mark, that you do that in front of them. And so, because sometimes, particularly with counties, they do want to at least see or be able to acknowledge that it was the registrant on this form that provided the signature that's on there, and then your contact information. The only other page to this document is one that gives explanation to its areas and the information that's being requested within that. So this is pretty simple. So anyways, I'm actually going to be taking a video and also providing the experience of my visiting the county and submitting this application, and anything and everything that I may learn from that. I'm going to provide the same for you, so stick around for that. All right, guys, so here I am as promised. I'm traveling now to the county center, Butte County in Northern California, to submit my application for my fictitious business name. And I got to admit to you, I'm pretty nervous. I've never actually made it this far down the trail to starting my own business, but this is an exciting milestone to doing so. It's relatively low in cost, but it's nonetheless, it's a new part of this adventure for me. So, you know, some things I've been kind of running through my mind and wondering is, you know, am I making the right choice, right? Going into this pursuit, this new venture, and all the time and finances are going to be tied up into it, right? Should I be spending more of my time and my money on and with my family and things like that? And you kind of, the closer you get to this and the more you start thinking about it, the more nervous I get and the more I start to second guess what I'm doing. But I'm pretty resolved. I know this is something that I want to do. I feel like it's a calling that I have, and I feel like my model, my plan is really pretty stable. My wife is supportive of this, and I think all of those things are important to have in your court. An assurance from your spouse, your family, an assurance and confidence in yourself, an assurance and confidence in your plan, which again, if you haven't taken all the steps and necessary considerations to make sure that you can have that confidence and that your plan is solid, if you're lacking any of those things, hopefully some nerves would shed light on some of the things that you do need to know and be aware of and consider to really do this responsibly. So anyways, I'm glad you're along this ride with me. Wish me the best of luck. This is only a $41 application to obtain my fictitious business name. But it's a big step, and every part in your process as well as mine is going to be a next big step for you to reaching your goals and your dreams. And I'm just glad you're along here with me. I hope that you have something to learn from all this as well. So stick around. I'm still yet to get there and actually file if I have a fictitious business name. I'm going to show you what that's like as well. Also, registration, board of supervisors, clerk. Hello. I have a request to file fictitious business name. Am I in the right office for that?
No, you're close.
Okay.
So, you know where the Home Depot was? Right
Yes.
there on Nelson?
Yes, I do.
You're going to go back out to Nelson, turn left, and it's going to be on the right.
Oh, so it's the Hall of Records building?
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Well, it's the clerk recorder's office.
Oh, is that what that's called?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can do. Thank you.
Alrighty.
So apparently that was not the right office. So I'm going across the street to the correct building now to submit that application. There we go. Butte County Clerk Recorder Hall of Records building. There it is. Hello.
How can I help you?
I have this form to file for a fictitious business name.
Sure.
Am I in the right office?
Yep.
All right.
Is it signed and print your name below?
Okay. I figured that would need to be done probably in person.
So is that you who's signing as
That's correct. As the registered owner.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
That's correct. I'm sorry. Can I borrow that pen?
Sure.
Okay. You need a date on the second line.
No. Print your name
Okay.
below your signature.
All right.
And then I'm gonna need to see your ID.
Okay.
Does it mean here or? You want both or you one or the other?
So, I actually called in regards to that. The abbreviated name SPC Group is probably what would checks would be made out to. And so my question when I called the office was, do I need to have both names on there or is one sufficient? They said, well, probably to set up your checking account, you'll want both listed.
Correct.
So just out of right concern.
Okay, so we'll take out the or.
Okay.
And you're gonna do both. Alright, so let's see. Alright, so it looks like $55 today.
Okay.
So you'll select debit or credit.
Okay.
Follow the instructions. F4 to complete.
Okay.
All right, here are your receipts.
Okay.
I'm gonna type this information in.
Okay.
All right, take a look at this. Make sure everything's correct. So yeah, paperwork will all come out here.
Okay.
All right. So if you can sign and print your name below.
Okay.
All right. So this is your copy for your records. It has today's date. 5 years from now, this will expire.
Okay.
Make sure everything's current with us because a month prior, we send out a letter stating you're about to expire, time for renewal, and if you're in business, you want to renew with us.
Okay.
This one is for the bank, so it has their certified stamp. We also put cheaters down here for our customers.
Okay.
This one is for publication, so you're required, as a first-time filer, to put an ad in the paper. It must run once a week for 4 weeks or 30 days. After that, they'll send you an original affidavit of publication.
Okay.
Make a copy, you keep the copy and send us the original or drop it here at the office at this address.
Okay.
And that's
Perfect.
it.
That's
Any
it.
questions?
Nope, that should do it.
Okay,
I think I'm
perfect.
lined out. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're all set.
All right. Until next time.
Until next time. Until that publication comes in.
Yep, exactly. There's your turn. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
All right, guys. There we go. I officially did it, and I paid for it. So at least in Butte County, that's how you file for a fictitious business name. Now I have my paperwork, right? I have the information to move on to actually publishing this in a local newspaper, which we've talked about my having to do. So I'm going to be doing that next. I believe I can take this information, fill it out, and just email it to my local news provider, and we'll be ready to move on to the next step, which should be actually getting a business checking account now in the name of the my fictitious business name. Now, what I'm a little bit unclear about is whether or not I have to complete this step as far as putting this in the newspaper and having that for 4 weeks before I can actually open up the account. So I have some investigative research to do right there, but I'm going to bring you along with me to figure out what is the criteria of that, right? Can I open my account now under this name, or do I have to put it in the newspaper first, right? Because I mean, what are the ramifications if I don't put this in the newspaper? I don't actually even know. So we're going to figure this out, and that's going to be the next part in this journey. Thanks for joining me.